when I was 19 years old, 18 to 21 years old, I was involved in an MLM. And a lot of people look down on MLMs, and there's some, reasons for and against the MLM structure. But I was involved in an MLM for a few years, basically till COVID. And when I was 18 to 19 to 20, I was like, everyone can be an entrepreneur. Everyone should try and be a millionaire. Everyone should yada, yada, yada. Now, 4.5 years later, at 25 years old, I 1,000,000% do not think everyone should try to be an entrepreneur. Do not think everyone should try to run their own business, because it is genuinely not for everyone. There are definitely times when even me, with 35 plus staff, we just hired our 4th account manager literally just 15 minutes ago. And it's Saturday night at 11 p.m. I'm making content right now with you. And don't get me wrong, we're still gonna, enjoy a nice dinner and probably go out for a little bit. But, it's like on a Saturday doing a 10, 12-hour day, right? Even with a company that is decent sized company. So there's always a stretch. And even when you think you have reached kind of like a safe zone, something breaks, something happens, and now your adrenaline and your emotions and your hormones are engaged in keeping you in a survival state. So it's not for everyone. The traits you have to adopt as well might conflict with some people. You have to be clever. You have to be emotionally resilient, extremely resilient. A lot of people aren't naturally, not everyone's that emotionally resilient. Things like IQ is hereditary. Also things like mental illness and depression, highly hereditary, right? Now that's not to say that if you have a mental illness, or if you have anxiety or a lower IQ even, or depression, doesn't mean that entrepreneurship isn't for you. It's more that there are things that will give you an advantage and there are things that won't give you that advantage. And that's an example of one of those things. So what I learned as well, and what made me change that thinking after the MLM to realize it's not for everyone, is because people's pain tolerance also varies. What I mean by pain tolerance is people can be wanting to endure pain for 6 months, for a year, for 2 years, for even 3 years, but to continue for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Now, again, who am I to speak? I'm just like, to be fair, I've been in business, if we're including MLMs, for 7 years, okay? And if we're including my different small things, YouTube channels that I tried in year 12, and like the TEDx events and stuff, then maybe 8 years technically. But in terms of like running a legitimate company, okay, 6.5 years, six years really. But for me, I'm just getting started. 6 years, I'm feeling like 10 years, here I come, let's get it. But the reason why a lot of people can't reach these milestones is not that they don't want to, it's just that people have different thresholds of pain. And pain comes in different forms. It can be emotional pain, it can be physical pain, but it can also be societal pain. Let me explain societal pain. We've all been in high school. A lot of us have been in school where, you're hanging out with your friends, maybe year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, and maybe one lunchtime or one snack time, they're hanging out with a different friend. And initially you're like, oh, okay, I don't really like that. I'm a bit jealous, or whatever. But then if it becomes a pattern, and then maybe they become closer friends to them than one of them was to you. And some people don't care, right? There's a portion of people that didn't care as much as others in primary school and high school. I was one of those people that did care. I remember being in year 5, 10 years old. I'm not going to name this guy because I'm not really as close to him anymore, which is ironic. But, it was my best friend. And I noticed he started hanging out with this other guy a lot. I was like, bro, like, you hang out with this guy more than me? Like, yeah, he's my best friend. And I threw a little tantrum, man. And I was a little tantrum thrower. I'm not going to lie. When I was in the younger years. But, like, everyone has a different propensity to pain, especially social pain. So another example of social rejection, when it's the business sense, is those first couple of years of business, people are going to be laughing at you, thinking you're not legit. They're going to be like, why is this person trying to be a business guy? Oh my gosh, I'm a content creator. It's like cringe, right? But what will happen is, over time, people just associate that with you. Well, you guys, like, I was a basketball maxi. I went to play basketball in LA and Sacramento when I was 18 years old. My Instagram account still says Ballerpreneur, and I can't change it back to my normal one due to some issues with Meta at the moment. But like, that was so ingrained in my identity. For me to now switch to full business guy, you think everyone thought that was legit? Do you think everyone thought my business was legit? I still have clients, referrals that come in this day that have been referred, and I still like, I can't even see your website. Like, I can't even see your thing. Or like, your Instagram got taken down, or is it you just have a fake Instagram? Like, whatever. So it doesn't stop. But what happens is less people think you're BS. But when you're at the early stages, a lot of people think you're not legit. and they'll let it be known. And it can be friends, family, people that you're significant others. Like, it's not easy. So social rejection, I dare say, is the biggest thing for a lot of adults probably that steer them away from entrepreneurship. But those are just a few reasons to why running a business, trying to have $1 million company or $1 million a year net worth or multiple millions, whatever, or even multiple hundreds of thousands in the business sense. I think you can do that obviously in corporate, but yeah, running a business is not for everyone. Don't let people fool you. Don't let the Instagram lifestyle get you get you confused. It's not for everyone, and anyone that's making real money understands big balls, big stress, and it's not for everyone. But it can be rewarding for those that stick it out for those 5, 10, 15, 20 years, because they can create a real dynasty. But the rewards come at the end of winning the race, not during the middle. And that's just what it is.